folks. Are you ready to take your cooking skills to a whole new level? Well, then follow me on my brand new cooking channel, Trent's Taste of the World. Oh yeah, we're gonna do everything from cooking in the kitchen on the stovetop, baking and broiling in the oven, making breads, cakes, cookies, and hey, even the grill. Oh yeah, this is a great grill. It's a Weber. Had it for 10 years, and this thing works wonders. It'll last forever. And there she is. Now, these things are sold. It's just with a grill grate. Some don't even come with an actual thermometer. Well, I've added a lot to this thing. Just wait till you see what I have for it. Let's go ahead and open it up. So it's got the gourmet system. This right here, this insert comes out, and then you have 6 different attachments that'll go in here, from beer can chicken, a wok, a Dutch oven that goes with it. There's several different attachments for this thing. It's got these little doors that open on each side so you can drop your coals without having to remove the entire grill grate. Isn't that convenient? I mean, my God, if you go back 20 years ago, it was just a grill grate, flat, straight across. Nothing special about it. Now, we're fixing to do something with this, and I think you folks are just can't wait. Well, let's get started. You know, it sure is a beautiful morning out there. Nice and cool. Perfect morning to cook burfucks. All right. Just hold up. Let me explain what that word is. Burfucks. I used to work for this guy. He had this bad speech impediment, and he couldn't say breakfast. So you know what? Myself and the cats, especially when it's time for them to eat their wet food, it's always burfucks. All right? That's all they know. If I tell them breakfast, they don't even move. Once I say burfucks, boom, man, they're up in this kitchen. They're waiting on the wet food to drop in the bowl. Yeah, they love their wet food. They get that every day between 3 and 5, depending on how I feel, you know. Will determine on what time they get it. Anyway, let's get started with what we're going to do today. First, I want to introduce you to a couple of items here that really enhances this grill. It pretty much turned this Weber grill into a smart grill. That's right, a smart grill. This thing is amazing. Now, ChefsTemp, if you don't have ChefsTemp, you need to get it. I've got them up here. These 3 are for the kitchen only. And then I've got 4 here that are for the grill outside. One thing I love about these, I've got 1 in the front. I've got 2 in the back. Wireless probes. So anything you got in the oven, stick it in a big piece of meat or whatever you're cooking in there that requires a probe, and you can monitor it from your phone. That's right. So I've got 2 minis in the back, 1 regular in the front. Here I have 2 regulars and 2 minis. Now these are actually linked to this. Now let's get it started. Now this is the S1. Now this S1, it's got little magnets on the back, so I never have to remove the base itself. I can just put it in there, twist it a little bit, and it connects. So I can keep track of the temperature, and it alarms me on my phone whenever I'm getting close to the temperature that I need to be at. Once you remove one of these, then it activates. Has 4 channels. So I can have 4 different things cooking at one time and monitor all 4 on this. You just got to click through the channels if you're going to do it off of this. If not, use your phone. So these are really great. Also, in order for this to work and the temperature to be regulated just right, you got to have the Brizo. Now the Brizo with this, it's really neat. It's got this magnet, so if you really want it to, you always keep your vent at the bottom completely closed, because this is where your airflow is coming from. So you take this off when you're wanting it to heat up, and this thing starts kicking in. You set your temperature, say 250 degrees. So this thing's just going to continue to blow and blow and blow until it gets about 215, 220, and it'll pulsate. And once it gets to 250, it stops. But if it drops down 245, it pulsates, keeps it at 250, whatever temperature you got it set at. Now, in order for this thing to work on a Weber, you got to get you one of these. These are amazing. I forgot what the heck they're called, but you got to get one of these drill bits. You got to drill a hole, and you want to tape your spots. So therefore, when this is in with the springs on the inside, you can move that, you know, that vent blade far to the left, far to the right. It will not interfere with it. So you want to go 1.25 inches, and you're going to stick this in 2 prongs first. Use your thumb, and then put this one in, and it's just going to snap in place. It plugs in. This is ran by electricity. Now I'm going to show you the cord out there that I ran. It goes all the way from the grill. I've got it tucked around up underneath the siding in the apartments, so you can't see it. And I've got it feeding in through a wire tube here where you can't even see it in the house. Trust me, I'm good like that. So anyway, once you get this thing up to temp, what you need, put it back on. Now you can control how much air goes in and out by adjusting this. As far as when it's on full throttle, it's only going to suck so much air out whenever it's only 1 click. Now if you're doing low and slow, smoking 225, you want it only 1 or 2 clicks open. If you're going to do something full fire, you want that thing just to blast off, open it all the way. It's really a great tool. So let's go outside here and take a look at this first before we do that. I almost forgot. This is what's going on the Weber Kettle. This beautiful Weber griddle. Now, you can do smash burgers with this, eggs, bacon. You could do all kinds of things with that. You know, now if you're going to use one of these, you want to use one of those cones. Put the coals in the center if you're going to do a lot on the center part. But if you want to, you know, cook the entire surface, yeah, you want to run the coals all the way around. Some people use the snake method for the outside edges. It's really neat. So let's get started. Let me take you out there, show you that little cord that I got ran. It's really cool. So I can unplug it. Don't have to, you know, pick the cord up, roll it up every single time because I grill too much. So let's get started. So there's that black extension cord that powers up the Brizo by the grill, and this is where I have it feeding in to the house. And I have more wires running through here that powers my dehydrator and little mini fridge that I have because there's no wall outlet on that side. So that was done a long time ago. This is just the latest addition. And as you can see, there are no cords visible because I'm good like that. Until you get to the fence, or whatever you want to call it, the guardrail here. I actually got to fix that. It's a little looped up over there, but that's all right. We'll make it work. So instead of picking this up all the time and worrying about the rain, you know, getting the end wet, I bought this over at Lowe's. And what it is, it's a cord protector. So I only use it whenever I'm not, you know, plugged into the Brizo. So here we go. Here's the base. Now I drilled a hole here because whenever I put the Kamado attachment in there, I'm gonna have to move this up because there's no way that right there is actually gonna go through, you know, it's in the way. So you'll lift that up, and then I have 4 other clips that go above this to move the grill grate up to where this will be in between the grill grate and the Kamado. And all you have to do is just twist these wing nuts and swap them out. And you always want to keep it plugged, and the reason why, you always want to keep as much smoke in when you're smoking. You don't want all this excess smoke to escape. So now we're going to insert the S1. All right, let's get on in here. So just kind of stick it in like that. Give it a little twist, and that's it. We'll get it cranked up. There it goes, it's loading. It's about 65 or whatever. Yes, 66, I was close. Yeah, it's a nice, cool morning. So that's the S1. So now we're fixing to get the Brizo installed. So let's get this going. All right, first off we got to do is this. Let's go ahead. Hey, good morning. How are you? So we're gonna undo this. Oh, this thing's a pain in the neck. It works great, but woo, it's a job to get. There we go. All right, so we're gonna plug this in. Don't know if you can see it. Yep, you sure can. All right. Now, let's pick this up. Let's go over here. We're going to move the grill out. As you can see, that's the hole that I had to drill in order for the Brizo to work. So let's get started. I mean, this thing turns us into a smart beast. So you'll start out with putting that in. Then you just gotta, you use your index finger. Boom, that's it. That's it, she's in. So now we're gonna plug it in. Now there's two plug ports. Both of them work. I don't even know why they got two. Really makes no sense, but okay. So it's in. Now you hear it going. All right, so you can do manual override. So right now it's going at full force. Now we want to cut it completely off. This is the setting that you want it on. Now the first one was pulsating. Second one was full throttle. This is power off. This is what you want. There's only 3 settings on it. The reason you want it on this setting is because you're going to control the fan by the temperature that is responding to the S1 of where you want to be. So as you can see where it's at in there, let's see, there it is. See that hole? All right, so we're going to move the grill back. We're going to load this thing with some coal. Now we're not going to use this grill grate because we're going to use the griddle for what we're going to do this morning. So let's get started. I sure hope this is as much fun for you as it is for me. Gotta have that coffee. If not, I'm dead. So let's go ahead and remove this grill grate real quick. Probably work better like that. Let's get this out of the way. Now what we're going to have to do with this, because of the hinges that I installed, so I no longer have to pick this lid up and lay it down wherever, There's really very little room to lay it down. If I lay it tilted on the stairs, it's going to slide down, so I decided to put these hinges on it. So because of that, I'm going to unscrew this wing nut. That little washer out right there. All right. And then we're going to screw that back in, but it's in the way, so it's not going to work. That barely goes in there with it. All right. There we are. We're in. Okay, well, I guess we're not going to have to use the, we're not going to be able to put the wing nut in, but that's okay because this is going to be open cooking. We're not going to be cooking with the lid down, so in that case, it doesn't matter. Now, I've still got to put the coals in it. I just wanted to show you how it lays down in here. You want to oil it real good. You've got your drip right here, which I actually have a pan in there that I'm going to stick underneath. So if it gets full of grease while you're cooking, you can just, move it over to where it just drains off into this. Now this is pretty thick. This is a carbon steel. It's already well seasoned. It's made by Weber. Highly recommended. There's another one that I have that's not seasoned yet. It's made by Only Fire. Only Fire has great products. So does Slow and Sear. With Only Fire, I also have the rotisserie attachment to do rotisserie chickens, rotisserie roast. It also has a door on the side where I can convert it into a pizza oven, and I'll use that other Only Fire griddle for the top which is better instead of it going all the way up here, because what that's going to do, that's going to allow the heat to melt that cheese and pretty much cook the top a lot quicker instead of waiting an additional 10-15 minutes. Anyway, let's get started. I just figured I'd polish it up a little bit, even though it's going to get dirty again. You know how it goes. You know, gotta make it look beautiful, like you can even see it. Only I can. Anyway, we got some. Woo, boy, that was close. So we got some different kind of hardcore lump that I bought at Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware has some amazing charcoal and hardwood lump and different types of. They've also got smoky wood. Smoky woods is good, but this one's a really, really good one. They big chunks, huge chunks, and highly recommended on YouTube. So I highly recommend it. Trust me, I just saw these. They're amazing, big chunks. Oh yeah, yeah, that's pretty big. So what we're going to do, we're going to use these Weber coal baskets. Now these are what actually comes with the Weber Master Touch. If you don't have a Master Touch, you have a regular original kettle or a premium, you can get these separate. You can get them at Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Home Depot for about 19 to 25 bucks. Very cheap. So what we're going to do with these now, with that grill grate where they open up on both sides, you would put these on both sides, and then you would do an indirect heat in the center, as if you're going to use the grill grate. But what we're going to do, I'm going to put these not like really close together. Some people do, but I'm going to put them like that. And the reason I like to use these, even though we're just doing coals in the center, is because I just don't like the coals directly on the coal grate. You know, I oiled this thing, seasoned it real well. This thing will never rust. As long as you take care of it, it will never rust. So we're just going to load these in here. Now these burn really hot. Hardcore lump burns hotter than briquettes. So if you want something extremely hot, I highly recommend you get this. So we're going to stick this in, as many as we can. Little bitty chunks fill in the gaps. That big log in there, yeah, that'll do it. Coal grates, yeah, the grate's going to sit up about an inch from this coal basket, so it's just right. Find little bitty chunks, and there's not many little chunks in this, that I can tell you. Most of them are really big. And with this, doing the griddle, you do not use the Brizo. I was just showing you how it hooks up and how it works, because this is going to be open the entire time with the griddle. Now, when you're doing smash burgers, or you know, certain things with the griddle, yeah, you can close it. But if that's the case, you leave the Brizo door open all the way. Because with this closed at the bottom, that is your air intake. Now, today I have a little door, a little Brizo door coming for the Weber that Slow and Sear makes for their Slow and Sear grill, which looks exactly like the Weber. So I'm going to drill a hole in there, put the screw in it. It's a little bitty door that just slides left to right. So whenever I hook up the Brizo, I can just open it up, put the Brizo in, pull the Brizo out, close it. Then if I ever just want to use this only, I can do it without the Brizo and have that closed. So it's really going to benefit quite a bit. So I think we're good there with the hardcore lump. We have enough. I think we're all set. So got to go in there, wash these wonderful coal fingers off so we can put this griddle on and get to cooking. All right, we ready to do this. So let's get our eggs out. What I'm going to do is 4 eggs. Now I saved these shells for my brother because he uses them for compost for his garden and his yard. So every time I do eggs, which is every day, These go in a special container. I should have put it up here and I didn't. All right, I'll just set them right there. These are great for compost. I highly recommend it. You grind them up really good. You can crush them with your hand, but if you use like a spice grinder, that's even better. Then it turns into a real fine powder, just like this oregano. I love the leaf oregano, the whole oregano, and the powder. Powder's best whenever you're doing this. Now, instead of milk, a lot of folks like to add milk to their eggs to fluff them up a little bit. The best is heavy whipping cream. I highly recommend heavy whipping cream. And we'll do about that, about a quarter cup. Now, if you want to be precise, get you a measuring cup. I just eye it. So you want to get this mixed up first. This heavy whipping cream, I'm telling you, it just takes scrambled eggs to a whole new level. Especially the way I do them. I don't like them just plain, you know. Got to add extras to it. Now, whenever I have the scrambled eggs on a plate and I'm sitting down ready to eat, I like to put ketchup on them. Sometimes I do picante sauce on eggs. Depends on how I feel. I call that Mexican scrambled eggs whenever I do the picante sauce. I love picante sauce on scrambled eggs. It's great. I don't even know why I did that. I'm putting it back in here. All right, so a little bit of black pepper. That's about good enough. A little bit of salt. I love Himalayan salt. It's great for scrambled eggs. Himalayan salt's just, it's great all the way around. I mean, I've got all three. I've got kosher, I've got Himalayan pink salt, and I also have sea salt. Now, onion powder. Now, sometimes I like to chop up green onions. Put green onions in it. You only need a little bit of onion powder, not too much. This is really stout. Garlic powder, same thing. There we go. A little granulated garlic. And then I do love to put myself some ground oregano in it. Oh, it tastes great. Trust me. You need to try it. Need to try it. Kind of gives it that Mediterranean twist. Italian, Albanian, I would say all the way from Italy to the Levant region of the Middle East. That's what you're going to get out of that. So there we are. Oh yeah, these scrambled eggs, with all of this, you got to try it. You've got to try it. I always do four eggs when I do scrambled eggs. Trust me, it's enough. Now, I can definitely put down 6 eggs worth of scrambled eggs, but you know, we're just going to do it this way. So, as far as the protein here, we're going to use this H-E-B Pitmaster cut thick bacon. This is some really good stuff right here. Now, it's not any kind of special flavor. It's just thick cut bacon, and that's all I like. The reason I like to buy it, you know, without all the additional flavors to it, because if I want to smoke it, I'll smoke it. You know, if I want that applewood flavor, I'll put that in there. So I like to get it just plain Jane, but I need the thick cut bacon, not that thin stuff. I mean, that's the thin bacon. I mean, my God, you could put it up to your eye and see right through it. I mean, that's not going to do anything for you. It's horrible. When we were kids, you know, that's what we used to eat. And then pork chops when we were kids were these little thin pork chops. No. I got to have 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick pork chop if I'm gonna buy them. So anyway, we're gonna get this out there and the bacon and get started. We're fixing to fire this thing up. Out of here. There we go. You see these little wax cubes? These are great. Also, the tumbleweeds work well. These are by Weber. Just little bitty wax cubes. These work wonders. We actually need 2 because we got 2 different baskets. Now, when we use the slow and sear by itself, you only need 1. And you start it at one end, and if you're smoking, it's going to gradually go through the coals throughout the hours. So let's open up another one here. This back over here, just kind of, just lightly press on it, just like trying to, get into a battery pack. Works out great. We'll put that one down there. I think that's good where it's at. All right. Get a drink of some coffee. Look at the bacon. Look at that beautiful bacon. Now that's light for me. I normally like to, have anywhere between 7 to 8 pieces of bacon in the morning. But this will do for now. I ate really big last night, so I still kind of feel heavy and full. Trust me, I'm everything but heavy. Can't you tell? Amazing, isn't it? All right. Let's get this going. Wax cube, second wax cube. Now, man, these hardcore lump coals, boy, they burn hard. So we're going to let it kind of fire up a little bit, and then we're going to put the griddle on it. You want to let that griddle heat up also. You want to at least let it sit there for 5 minutes. Now, this is after a lot of these coals have already taken on some fire. Woo, boy! I tell you what, that puts out some smoke. I love this grill. I'm telling you. It's like an addiction to cocaine. Grilling. I mean, you can't make that up. Hey, like alcohol. You got a bad drinking problem? Oh my God, yeah. This is just as bad. It's called a grilling problem. That's a great problem to have, isn't it? At least you don't wake up with a bad headache, feeling sick, nauseated, sweating real bad. Huh? You don't want to do that. I mean, you might smell like smoke at the end of the day, but that's what a shower's for. And you still wake up clear-headed the next day with a fresh cup of coffee. Isn't that something? Now, this is starting to get cold, which is kind of upsetting. But you know what? I need to slam it before it gets cold. I mean, if I want something cold, I'm going to put ice in it. Now, I do like iced coffee, especially Starbucks. They got some great iced coffee. Now, listen, I can make that in my own house. I like to grind my own coffee beans. And I got that little K-cup where you can fill fresh grounds in it. Because not every coffee is offered in a K-cup. I might find something that's in a bag. I'm like, all right, that's fine. I'll grab the beans and I'll put them in the coffee grinder. And then, I mean, you can have any coffee you want in that Keurig. It's amazing. Heat that up, and it's starting to get cold. Nothing like the taste of that coffee in the morning. It's the greatest smell in the world. Well, look at it. Now that's going to take a minute. So stay tuned. As you can see here, it's heating up. Now, I closed the grill just to let it heat up really good. And I've got the Brizo going just to really circulate that oxygen all the way around in there, and that's going to heat it up a lot more than as if we were to leave the lid open. And then once we're done with that and I get it up to about 215, 220 degrees, then I'm going to open it, put the griddle on it, cut off the Brizo, and just let it do its thing. As you can see, it's climbing. See, I've got the fan up. And you can set the temperature to open this up. I don't know what I got it set at. All right, it's on timer right now just to heat up. So instead, we're going to go here, 226. Let's say let's do, well, heck with 221 is good enough. So once it gets to 221, that Brizo is going to cut off. And it's going to be right where we need it. And it'll alert me while I sit in the house and wait on it to heat. One thing I do want to mention about this ChefsTemp, I mean, this thing is a beast. So as you know, what I'm fixing to do on that griddle is not going to call for a probe. So all the probes are turned off. Now there are 4 probes here that are linked to the S1. Now, if you don't have the S1 and you just have the probes in there, the probe also has an ambient temperature reading on the outside and internal for the meat. But now if you have these probes linked to the S1, that actual thermometer is what takes priority over these. Now, this one is the one I showed earlier that was on the refrigerator for the kitchen. That's the regular, and these are the 2 minis. Now this is if I'm cooking something in the oven or whatever needs a probe for inside in the kitchen. They're all wireless probes. I mean, it's an amazing system. Okay, what I was just doing is testing the heat from the coals up about 6-7 inches. If you can hold your hand here for more than 5 seconds, it's not hot enough. This is hot enough, so we're ready to get going. Woo, boy, this thing's got some weight to it. So we're gonna put this on. It's gonna take no time to get this heated up, that's for sure. Let it heat up first. You don't want to oil it just yet. You want to let it get hot. And it's already heating up. What I'm going to do is set the breezo, just so it'll blow a lot of air up in there. Actually, I think the breezo is good for this regardless, you know, because right now it's kind of blocking from pretty low down. Yeah, that's hot. This side's real hot. All right. You didn't think I came unprepared now, did you? That's why I got this. 300, 298, perfect. You want to be about 300 to 325 degrees when we're doing eggs and bacon. So we're right where we need to be. Now what we want to do, spray this thing down with a good coat of oil. I use avocado oil when I'm outside on the grill. Just want to rub it in real good. Ooh, boy, that's hot. Let's get another one. This is already seasoned, so all I'm doing now is just getting it really nice and wet, so the bacon will slide nice and easy, and the eggs will scramble up perfectly. So let's get going. We're ready to get this show on the road, folks. Nice and hot. Just like a Blackstone, you know? This thing can do everything, literally. All right, let's go ahead and give it a turn. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's real nice. Look at that golden brown right there, you know? Just amazing. And one thing about this carbon steel here, it heats up evenly. If one side is hotter than the other, eventually it's just going to all evenly heat up. But I think this side's got a little bit more than the left. Let's take a look. We are at 334, 327, so we're okay. About even. Close enough. Now it's sitting about 350 degrees on both sides. It's evenly heated. I mean, this thing is amazing. Carbon steel is great, but you got to take care of it. You got to take care of it. They're easy to clean. Trust me, I've got a special tool to clean these. You treat carbon steel just like you do cast iron. I've done a lot of carbon steel restoration, just like I have cast iron skillets, grills, you name it. And that's looking good right there. I like mine just a little charred, not too much, but just a little bit. And it looks like it's almost done. And we're fixing to take this off and then put the eggs on it. But look how beautiful that is. I mean, it just like cooking on a Blackstone or in a skillet in your kitchen. I highly recommend that you folks get these. Now, you can get one that's you know, from Only Fire. It's a little cheaper. Or Slow and Sear has a griddle. There's several companies that make griddle inserts for the Weber, and they all vary in price. I think the cheapest one I saw was around 89 bucks. This one here was 143, I think. So there we go. There's our bacon. It's done. So we're gonna let it rest on that, and let it soak up all that oil. All right. Yeah, that comes right off. Man, they did a great job seasoning this. It's the first time I've used this one. Thought, well, you know what? It's a beautiful day. It was 65 degrees this morning. Why not? I get up early every day. All right, let's get our eggs on. There we go. There we go. Come on. Just look at that. It's like an ocean of eggs. Yeah, not as easy to contain it in one area like you can in a skillet. A lot more room here to work with. Going here, get it out from under that crack. You're going to see the final ingredient I put on this once it's done. Let's see if I can get that out of there. Not like it's a big deal. Oh yeah, this thing is perfect. See how quick it cooked up those eggs? Didn't take long at all, did it? Now for the final touch. Now, a lot of times I'll put the ketchup on when it's already on the plate sitting at the table, but I figured why not do it this way. Now, I like this ketchup. It's a spicy ketchup from Whataburger. Some great stuff. I love that heat. Sometimes I cook the ketchup in the eggs, and most of the time I usually just squirt it on the eggs when I'm sitting at the table. But I figured, why not? Why not this time? You know, it'd probably be better to have a spatula that's silicone instead of this. As you can hear, I have the Brizo going, so it can kind of, you know, keep it going up the temp. It's reading 352 degrees on the S1. A little room there. Yeah, I think next time I'm going to use a silicone spatula for this. I think it would be way better. Usually with cast iron, you never want to use metal on cast iron skillets. I mean, it'll strip your seasoning. Not so much on carbon steel. That's why I really wasn't too worried about it. This thing's here to stay, man. This seasoning ain't coming off of this carbon steel. That I can tell you. I want to get all those eggs, man. Come on now. We're going to do it like that there. Yeah. And there's our eggs, cooked with ketchup. Now, I always like buttered bread, and then jam on top, jelly, whatever you want to call it. Just kind of move it around there, toast it up a little. We'll let that butter melt, and then I'm going to flip it over, and we'll still have a little butter on the griddle. And we'll kind of butter and season this side a little bit. You don't want too much on both sides. It's not like you're making French toast. And it's doing great. Doing great, man. This thing is unbelievable. Yep, let's swap that out a little bit right there. There we go. Just a little bit hotter on that side is just right. And we can remove that paper towel under the bacon, because it's definitely good to go. Oh yeah. Yep, that's what we want right there. That's what we're after. How we looking? Let's put that over there. It's a little bit hotter on that side. And this is how we do it, baby. Woo! That's the way we do it now. Yeah, buddy. That's good enough. It don't need to be black. So there's breakfast off of the grill, folks. That's it. We're fixing to chow down. All right, folks. We are ready to partake in this amazing breakfast. That's right, I got to use the real word, not the other word, because if I do that, I'm going to have the cats at my feet, and I don't need that, because they will not leave me alone for at least the next half hour to an hour. So breakfast. And it sounds more professional, and everybody understands it, So anyway, let's dig in and see how these eggs are. Now, they got a great color to them, thanks to the ketchup. And actually, it is better to, put the ketchup on them. Now, you got to wait till it scrambles completely before you put the ketchup on them, and then just, mix them up on the griddle as they're cooking. Oh my God, this is amazing. You definitely got the oregano in there. That's without question. You can taste the garlic. It's not overpowering. Like I said, you only use just a minute amount. Now, when it comes to salt and pepper, you want to be a little liberal with that. Now, depending on some issue with salt, use that fake salt. The stuff that kind of tastes like salt, but it's not. I'll just kind of back off the salt a little bit. But I'm definitely getting the oregano and the garlic. The onion powder, I could have stepped it up just a hair. But I mean, this is actually perfect. Remember this. When it comes to fresh herbs and dry herbs, the golden rule, if there's 1 teaspoon of fresh, but you're going to use dry, make sure it's a 1/4 teaspoon of dry, because dry is extremely potent. That's the golden rule. 1 tablespoon of fresh, 1/4 tablespoon of dry. Never forget that. Now, if you're using whole dry oregano leaves, you're going to probably do a little bit, just a tad bit more than you would as if it was oregano powder. But then again, there's really, oregano is very potent. I mean, extremely. Another good thing with the eggs, which I've tried before, is rosemary. Rosemary is good too. Get the dried rosemary. What I usually like to do is get the stuff already dried and then grind it into a powder, freshly ground, and then put a little bit in there. I'd say 4 eggs, a little less than a 1/4 teaspoon, about a 1/2 of a quarter. All right, because it's going to be overpowering. But rosemary is a very great flavor with scrambled eggs. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share with others so we can help this channel grow. We cook food from all around the world. We're going to make it real. And, we is me, myself, and I. All right. I mean, us three really kick ass in here. Yeah, we do a good job. I'm there. I'm everywhere. I got to eat. All right. See you. the next one. Well, there you have it, folks. Perfects on the grill, as my old boss would say from 20 plus years ago. Perfects. Well, ever since I heard that man say that, man, it's stuck with me all the way up until today. You know, no, not that. See, the cats know what that is. Now, if I say breakfast, they're just going to fall asleep, ignore me. They don't know what breakfast is. But if I say that word, oh yeah. I mean, that's a thing between us three, Boss, Vader, and myself. Especially, wet food time. Oh my God. When they hear that word, they go crazy. But anyway, breakfast on the grill, folks. That griddle is definitely worth getting. And if you want something a little cheaper, check out Only Fire and check out Slow and Sear. There are several on Amazon, and you can receive it within 1 to 2 business days. It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Actually, no, 1 to 2 business days. Amazon 7 days a week, so 1 to 2 days. You order it on a Friday, you can get it on a Saturday or Sunday. So, business days. We're talking about Amazon, Amazon's the giant. I mean, I live on Amazon. But when you're done with this, if you want to save your existing coals, doesn't matter if it's briquettes, hardcore lump, wood, close it immediately. Close all your vents off, and it'll put that fire out quick. But anyway, thanks all for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share to help this channel grow. You have a good rest of the day. This Saturday, it's just begun. See you soon.